you ready to make technology work for you? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast where we break down the latest tech trends and show you how to boost your productivity at home and in your business. So, subscribe to Act on Tech today and visit alexcustomtech.com to see how we can take your business to the next level. That's Act on Tech, your guide to smarter tech for a smarter business. Alex Custom Tech, IT means integrity and trust.
Welcome to Act on Tech, where we talk all things technology. I am Alex of Alex Custom Tech, and today we're going to do a countdown on the top 5 tech upgrades that gives you the most bang for your money. Okay? So, these are upgrades that you don't need or don't require a massive budget. Just something you can do to crack down on certain things and to make yourself more productive, to speed up your internet, to create a better security situation for you. And they have huge impacts, even on them small little tweaks. They are huge impact in your home office or your business. Right? This can be for residential people who work from home. You have your business, and you can just do this to kind of increase or solve some of the what the salespeople will call pain points in your business. Okay, so not all tech investment are created equal. Some upgrades deliver noticeable difference, right? So you do something, you notice the difference the before and after. All right, and when you work or while you're working, and others are just like shiny new toys, which I'm guilty of. Like I've purchased things that are just shiny new toys, especially in my radio station. That's kind of like my where I do things where sometimes it's not even like a functionality thing. It's like, oh, that desk would be perfect for the studio, or instead of having the cables hanging here, I'll buy something that can manage the cables. Like those purchases, do you need them? No. Or they're part of the the functionality of the radio station? No, but it would make things look more aesthetically pleasing. So some things are just shiny new toys. I remember one of my friends just the other day bought this. He had a gaming PC, and he bought this really cool box that has like displays and lights and all this other stuff. And all he really did was took out the stuff out of his old gaming PC, the motherboard and the things inside of it, and put it in the new one. It's just a shiny new toy. But again, some things are just cool when it comes to tech, and some things are definitely makes a difference, like big leaps and bounds different from what you had before. And we're going to talk about the 5 things that I think that could do that. All right. So, these 5 upgrades that I'm going to share with you make sense on a budget wise, and make a difference in small businesses and offices, like I said, and can be implemented really quickly. So the first thing we're going to talk about, item number 1. We talked about this before in one of my podcasts before, but I'm definitely an advocate for this. So upgrade your ISP router to a prosumer router, right? We talked about, I gave you a couple of options, and I'm going to go over them again. Ubiquity Dream Machine is a good one, or TP-Link, right? So most people still use the router their ISP gave them. Slow limit, feature, and basic security, right? A prosumer router like a Unify Dream Machine or a TP-Link Omada ER605. I'm gonna put this on the on my I recommended page. I talked about it before. I didn't put it up there, but I'm gonna put it up there because I mentioned it a lot of times now. Omada and TP-Links, I'm gonna put it up there. And they deliver faster speeds, better Wi-Fi coverage, stronger security, and more. So the more is where I get excited about. But definitely get a prosumer router in opposed to the one that the ISP gives you. Now, pro tip, you can also buy your own modem, right? You can find out who gives you your internet, whether it be Comcast or Verizon, if it's Fios or not or whatever, and you can get your own modem. I'm not sure if you can get your own ONT device. I think that's from the ISP, but if you're getting coaxial coming to the house where you're getting internet via coaxial cable, you can get your own modem, right? And that's also very good. But that's a pro tip, so the extra, right? But your router, you can get a unified Dream Machine, or you can get a TP-Link, and it give you a lot more range. Like I said, faster speed, better Wi-Fi coverage, more features, right? So that's upgrade number 1. Upgrade number 2 is swap your hard drive for SSD. Now, you've heard me talk about SSDs before. I mentioned SSDs. Now, what SSD is, a solid state drive. Now, what we know as hard drives before was these kind of like a CD, but they're multiple layered and they're magnetized, and that's where the data is written on, and it has an arm and it goes back and forth and reads the data. So that after time, those, because it's moving parts and things running 24/7, after time it gets weak or it gets damaged or the data may get corrupted and anything happening. If dust gets in there, it could mess up the data and all this other stuff. So it's very, they do a good job with building these things, and they last a lot longer now than they ever did in the past. But a SSD is just really chips on a board that records the data that way, and it's well secured and it's really fast, because when you're pulling data from off of a hard drive, he has to find it then pull it. It's the same concept with the SSD, but it's on circuit boards. It's supposed to on a plated disk where the arm have to go find the data where the data is. So it's a lot more. It reduces the reaction time to when you put the input into the computer to when it finds the data. So it's faster boot time. So your boot time will dramatically differ from the hard drive to the SSD. So you will increase productivity, increase time for pages to load, all the stuff will be increased just by swapping out your hard drive for the SSD. Now, you might need a program to do that, all right? But there's a bunch of them out there. But I would definitely say upgrade from hard drive to SSD. That is definitely 2. So let me go over that again. If your computer takes forever to boot, like I just mentioned, or open apps change, chances are you're still using a mechanical drive. We'll talk about a mechanical drive, right? Upgrading to a solid state drive, SSD, is one of the cheapest, fastest ways to breathe new life into your computer and in your machine, right? The impact is dramatically noticeable, right? Much faster boot time, smoother multitasking, and longer life for your PC, right? When I say longer life, it means that the OS lasts a lot longer. It doesn't get corrupted as easily. Right now, I'm going to be doing this within the next couple of days. My Office PC is a beast within itself, but the hard drive that I have in there is starting to show some signs. Sometimes I reboot it and I'm getting an error, so I know I need to upgrade it because it's a hard drive in there, a mechanical drive. I'm gonna get a SSD. I was gonna get the one a good one, right? So that's number 2. Now, number 3, this is probably like a no-brainer, but anyway, add a second monitor. You have one computer, one monitor, add a second monitor. A single monitor limits your productivity. You're constantly minimizing and switching in windows and losing focus because you're going to have one monitor, a single monitor, right? Adding a second monitor gives you more workspace. For multitasking, think of one screen for emails and the other one for whatever you're working on, right? And studies have shown that when you add a second monitor, you increase your productivity from about 20 or 30% more than what you was doing before. Studies show this. This is not like me talking on the side of my neck, right? So definitely think about getting another monitor. Now, 4. We talked about this before, right? And I've drilled this into you, and I'm kind of taking a step back from the security stuff, right? I even got a call from someone the other day telling me that he almost got hacked and yada yada yada. So here's something that I think you guys should do. It's not that expensive. Sometimes it's actually free, right? But you can do this. Use a password manager. If you're still writing your password on a sticky note or reusing it, just stop doing that. Okay, just stop doing that, please. Right? A password manager like Bitward or 1Password stores your password securely, generate strong ones, and autofill them when you need it. So of course you're gonna have to install it on all your devices that you're using, your laptop, your MacBook Pro, your computer, your phone. I get that. It's a definite learning curve. It's a little bit of a pain, but we talked about this before. I mentioned it before. I told you my philosophy. There's no solutions in life, only trade-off. If you want to be secure, you're not gonna have convenience. If you want convenience, you're not gonna be secure. You can't have both, right? You can't have the cake and eat it too. Okay, so let's gotta swallow that pill and do that. But I'm saying this is, again, I don't want to go off into a rant about security, but non-negotiable. Okay, and 5 but not least, implement a cloud backup solution. Now you might say, but I thought you didn't like cloud. No. I said before that I like cloud as a backup solution. I've said that to you, off-premises backup. Now here's why. You have your office, you have your employees, you're in a building, you have your server closet where all your data sits, all your information sits in the server right there. You're backing up all the computers to that server. So you think, yeah, I did my job, right? What if the building burned down? What then? All of that's gone. Now, if you have that setup that I just explained to you, where you have your office, you have your staff, you have your closet, you have all the data going to that server in that office. What if you backed up that server that's in the closet to another location, whether it be something you have at your house or to a cloud service, right? So all the information there goes up to the building burn down. You get your insurance money or whatever you got to do to establish another office. You can just bring it back down to the new servers you have, and voila, you're back to the races again. So you want to have an off-site backup. That's a really good backup strategy, a really good redundancy policy, a really good policy overall for your protecting your information. You want to have something locally, 100%, but you also want to have something off-site, even your laptop. You go to somewhere, your laptop is stolen or you lost it, buy a new laptop, go to the cloud, bring that down the data, and you're off the races. Like, you don't have to lose it forever and ever. Amen. You don't have to. Now have to be the case. So that's number 5, right? And you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to see big improvement. These are just like 5 upgrades that can transform your workflow and security in fraction of the time. Like I said, the hard drive may be a little bit technical, but you can do it. I have faith in you. All right, and start with upgrades that solve the biggest pain point. Like I said, sales uses a lot. There's a lot in sales where they talk about your pain point, because that's how they kind of sell you, by manipulating you and appealing to your emotions, and the emotion you're appealing to is fear. I'm not doing that. Okay, you don't have to do these upgrades, but you can do them yourself, and it will be noticeable if you do them. And you know what's going on in your, like for instance, like I just explained to you, I work on my office computer a lot of things I do on my computer, right? It's a beast of a machine, right? But I'm noticing that after Windows updates, I'm getting an error, this is not reading, this file corrupted, and I know how to fix it, but I know based on what I'm seeing that there's something going on with the hard drive. Now I've done a check on the hard drive and whatever, it comes up fine, but it's an old hard drive. So I'm like, okay, the best thing for me to do with this is to get an SSD, transfer the files from the hard drive to the SSD, and I can still use the hard drive for something else. I can use it for testing and put it in the lab. But the point is, I need a solid state hard drive that I can rely on, that's going to boot this computer every time I want to boot it. So that's a pain point that I'm having right now. Okay, I don't know. Right now, the computer is fine, but once you do a reboot, what's going to happen, right? What is going to be the last reboot I can do? So that's kind of pain point. That's kind of scary, right? Not terrifying, but scary. And again, I know what to do. And this thing is backed up. Like, I can back it up. It's not like if it dies, I'm completely at its end. But it's going to take time out of my time to reestablish things. So I could have fixed it now before it gets to that point. But the point is, you know what your pain points are. You know if your Wi-Fi in your office is not really working very well. Some people have. I mean, again, hundreds of times I've seen this. I've come into offices to fix a computer, and I'm looking at a network, and it's like, on the side of the wall, there's like a router, one box that the ISP gave them, and that's all they got. And everybody plugged into the thing, and everybody's using it. And if you go into another room, you can't get Wi-Fi. And just get a prosumer router. Get a prosumer router. Get an access point. Set it up, and you have good coverage. And you can tweak things. You can manage. You can do traffic filtering. You can do all those things just by getting a prosumer router. And again, believe it or not, I talk about Unify, Dream Machine, and TP-Link, but it's not hard to figure this stuff. It's very easy to use them. There are more complicated routers and switches in our industry. We're talking about like Cisco or Jupiter. That's a whole different level of switches, right? And of course, MSPs know how to use them. Yeah, but I'm not telling you to go buy a Jupiter switch or a Cisco switch. I'm just saying, get a Dream Machine, get a TP-Link. It's not as powerful as those, but again, it can solve a lot of problem network-wise, right? You can turn ports on, turn ports off. There's a lot of things you can do to secure your office. And again, that could be a pain point. You having issues with your network. Most of the time, it's the Wi-Fi, right? You can bring one of these switches in there, get one of the access points, and then you're good to go, and the problem is solved. That could be a pain point. Another pain point you could probably have is you got your main person that does HR, and they got a whole bunch of post-its, notes, people's social security and passwords and everything on over the desk. And if they go home, anybody could sit at the desk and figure out how to log into your system and all this other stuff. So get your people a password manager. Enforce that rule in your business. You got to use a password manager. This is not negotiable. And if you do that, that could be a pain point. It might be a pain point as like, you have that definite pain when you go in, because she goes in there and she picks up a post-it note and she types it in and she knows where she's going. But again, anybody could sit at her desk and type the information and know where they're going. So the point is that you want to solve these problems before they become problems. And security, again, it's a hard sell because it's not a problem until it's a problem. But when it's a problem, it's a very expensive, time-consuming problem. So I'm an advocate for prevention in opposed to having to deal with it when it happens, right? And I'm not saying that it can't happen. It can, but let it be harder for those people to take advantage of you. So that could be a pain point, right? So that being said, again, another one. You got, I've seen this too, where people are going back and forth with monitors, and they have one monitor, and sometimes they're buying like one big monitor too. That's not the problem. That's not just going to solve the problem. Get them two monitors. Get two monitors. Once you can have our emails up all the time. Say you're definitely a company that you have to look at emails all the time. Emails are important, and I know this for myself because I got that problem. You're getting emails all the time, so that needs to be up all the time. But at the same time, you need to do other work. You're multitasking. Not that I believe in multitasking, but people use it. So you have your email up, you have other things you're working on, but your email is on one monitor, so you can always glance over and see if you get anything new. That's important, right? That's a pain point. If the person is missing emails, like myself, missing emails, important emails, if they have the monitor up all the time and they get notified, they can see. So the pain point for you might be having 2 monitors, right? That's not something that's obviously obvious that you need 2 monitors, but just think about it. If you know that getting another monitor will make your life 5, 10, 20% better, which we know that the studies show that 20% to 30% it improves, and the study shows that, then why even debate it? Just get another monitor, right? I mean, honestly, I have 2 monitors. I had 2 monitors for years, so I know for a fact that it's very helpful, very useful. And because of the 2 monitors I use my laptop on the road, but I do feel a little bit frustrated because I know if I'm in the office, I can really get a lot more done than when I'm on the road. But again, I still appreciate the convenience of having the laptop on the road, so I can work on the road. But nothing is like when I'm in my office working on a project. I can just go back and forth because I use my AI a lot, and my AI side was on one side, on one monitor, and I can just go back and forth with my AI and get things done. So that's something that you need to think about. Okay, 2 monitors, get a new monitor, right? Definitely. So what I always say, these things are here for you to get a better grasp of technology, how you can improve what you're doing, be more productive and not be out of the loop as far as what can help you. And this is going to be a short podcast. Like I said, I just thought about it. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's talk about some of the upgrades that we can have people do. It's not going to cost them a lot of money. They ain't going to even call it MSP for that. You can put another monitor on your computer without calling MSP. Unless your computer is like really old. And you got to get like a low profile graphic card. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, these mini PCs come with like 2 HDMI ports. This is very easy. Plug them in, plug and play. It's not a complicated thing. Most of the things I told you can do yourself. Even the hard drive you can do yourself. You can get the SSD. You can Google it how to do it, and you can do it. And again, you can have the MSP do that. Nothing is wrong with that. You can have them help. But these things you can do yourself. And again, I did give you the bonus one. So in your with your internet, it comes in off the pole and it goes into the first box. The first box is neither a modem if you have a coaxial cable, or if it's fiber, it's going to go into something known as an ONT, right? The ONT, I'm not sure if you can get your own, all right? I doubt it, but who knows? But I know you can get your own modem. You figure out who give you your internet, Comcast, Verizon, whatever, and you can Google what is the right compatible modem for that ISP. And then you can go to Best Buy, you can go to Walmart, you can pick up the modem that's compatible for that ISP. And you bring it home, you take it out of the box, you call them and say, hey, I have my own modem. You give them the numbers on the back of the modem, they connect into it, you get your internet. That way you will get the speed that is advertised. Not saying that the ISPs are nefarious, I'm just saying it's good to have your own stuff. You get your own modem, you set it up, then you can target that on to your prosumer router. Your router is then gonna take the ISP's internet and it's gonna create what's known as a gateway. And then after the gateway, you can plug all your stuff in there and you can manage that gateway intricately, right? With a prosumer, you have more access to what goes and comes out of your network. It's control. Now, if you have an ISP or if you have an MSP, you already have something like this set up in there, right? But if you're just a little small man, one-man shop, a little small business, you can do this yourself. You can do this, and then you can learn about your router, learn about your Dream Machine, or learn about your TP-Link, and it's fun, right? So you can do that, and that's how you manage it. Because again, with, say for instance, Unify, you can get the Unify Dream Machine. It comes with a couple of it comes with a hard drive. It comes with a couple of ports, and some of these ports are PoE ports, so you can plug in a unify or a unify access point, right, for your Wi-Fi. Just plug in one. If you have a small office, plug one in, and then you can configure the Wi-Fi with the Dream Machine, and it works very symbiotically. It's a beautiful thing because it's under one ecosystem. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna have phones. You can plug that in there, and you can have, and the PoE is good because you have the one cable that powers the phone, powers the A access point, and it also carries data. So you don't need like two cables; you need one cable. So it's very neat, very cable organized, and you're doing your own thing, and you have all that control, or more control than just what the ISP gives you. So take that into consideration. These are things you can definitely do to increase productivity in your business or at home. Give you more control, right? Don't hesitate. If it's gonna make your life a little bit better and make things more productive, go ahead and do that. Now I'm gonna hand it over to the AI. But like I always say, stay productive.
Looking for tech that just works and someone who keeps it real? Tune in to Act on Tech, the podcast that breaks down everyday technology in plain English. No jargon, no hype, just tools, tips, and insights to help you stay productive, stay efficient, and keep acting on tech. Need gear you can count on? Visit the Alex Recommends page at alexcustomtech.com. It's full of trusted products, from smart cameras to mini PCs, handpicked and tested by Alex himself. And when it's time to get serious about your setup, Alex Custom Tech is here to help. From small business networks to smart home installs, we've got your back. So remember, listen to Act on Tech, shop smart with Alex Recommends, and get support from Alex Custom Tech. Stay productive, stay efficient, and keep acting on tech.
Hey there, Jersey and Eastern PA businesses. Ready to take your IT game to the next level? Get excited because Alex Custom Tech is coming your way. We're your go-to for IT support, bringing integrity and trust to every service. From network upgrades to virtualization and even relocating your IT setup, we've got you covered. Stay tuned as we put the finishing touches on our new site. Alex Custom Tech, helping your business thrive with top-notch IT support right in your backyard.
Welcome to Alex Custom Tech, your trusted partner for computer service and repair since 2010. We provide professional consulting services to clients throughout New Jersey and Pennsylvania, offering everything from computer repair to network design and installation. Our focus is on building efficient, results-driven professional relationships with our clients. We work with you to create customized solutions that fit your specific needs, whether you're an individual or an organization. Our comprehensive IT consulting services are designed to make your technology work more effectively for you. We provide solutions that meet your business's performance and utilization demands. Because we understand that when your technology doesn't work, neither do you. We specialize in network design and implementation, taking the pain out of network creation, maintenance, and repair. Our team understands that even minimal downtime can impact your productivity and revenue. That's why we offer 24/7 proactive monitoring and maintenance to strategically optimize and protect your infrastructure. For residential and business clients, we provide affordable and reliable computer repair services, available both on-site and at our location. Our commitment to quality is reflected in our satisfied customers' experiences. We service New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Alex Custom Tech is ready to serve your IT needs. Contact us today at 855-668-6315 or email info@alexcustomtech.com to discover how Alex Custom Tech can help optimize your technology solutions.